pastors are going straight to hell. I'm telling you, because they know darn well the stuff that they supporting and the stuff that they push these people in these churches to support, that is wrong. They push the LGBT thing. They supporting the trans thing. They supporting the AB rights. They support all of this stuff that has nothing to do with God, and refuse to teach and address the things that's actually happening in our community. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Here I am again. I'm just another brown girl in America, and we're going to keep this thing churning today. So if you've been here before, thanks for your return. Don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe button. If you're new to this channel, welcome. You are my friend. Hopefully you stay that way. Don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. That is the only price of entry, and we can create some dialogue and get this thing going. Today, I ran across a TikTok that was very interesting, because what I seen is that they happened to roll out Jesse Jackson. So they rolled out Jesse Jackson. Jesse Jackson is barely there. You know, just like Al Sharpton, and it's like, come on, guys, what are we doing? So I ran across a TikTok of this one young lady, and I believe she called herself Pretty Realist. Yeah, she calls herself Pretty Realist. And so I ran across this TikTok. So if you want to go follow her, definitely go do that. That Pretty Realist on TikTok. But let's go over this, because what it did is triggered a video that I did when I first started last year sometime. I first started this journey. And we're gonna play a little bit of that old video. So if you haven't been back there, you're gonna get to see a few of it. You get to see my old background when I was getting started. That's a whole mess. It's a whole thing. But speaking of, I want to brighten up the place. Let me know. What do you guys think? Drop it in the comments. All right, so let's see what Pretty Real is. And I want y'all to check this video out, and then we are going to discuss it. Let me bring her on up.
That the black community don't have no leaders.
But why is the Rainbow Push Coalition supporting illegal aliens if illegal aliens disproportionately affect the black community jobs?
Say that one more time.
Why is the Rainbow Push Coalition supporting illegal aliens when illegal aliens disproportionately negatively affect the black community?
Yeah, that's not true.
It is true. They take jobs, right? But they take your jobs. Legal.
Let me offer.
Nothing.
See how they just don't care, how they want to skip over that part, because they wanted to make an outrage about it when Trump was warning about this, when he was saying they're taking black jobs. Of course, the media and the black liberals and Democrats made a whole outrage. Of course, they like to paint this narrative that he's racist because of certain clips that they say out of context, and they take it. When he said black jobs, everybody act like they didn't know what he was talking about. Now, anybody that's real, for real, and understand what's going on, and the people, them black people, they know. They know what's going on, and they know what he meant by that. Black jobs. We talking about the call center jobs that was a lot of the women go to. We're talking about the yard work of our boys used to go around learning how to get jobs cutting grass. We talking about odd jobs that taught our boys and our kids how to do things. Babysitting jobs, factory jobs. That's a big one right there. Warehouse jobs. That's a big one right there. So don't sit here and act like you don't know what black jobs are when we talking about people that might not have had the total education, or didn't, go all the way through school. They have minimal skills, those jobs. And now you can't even go anywhere without seeing somebody else, and you can barely even speak to them because they don't know English. So do not act like they don't know what black jobs is. They know what they talk about. They do not care. The only thing they want to do is push an agenda. I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna keep saying it. They're not pro-black. They are pro-Democrat.
Thank you so much for coming out today.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
This is People's Conference
black
for
jobs
Call to Action.
You don't support illegal aliens coming in and undercutting black jobs. It doesn't make sense, though, right? I mean, we got.
I don't even know why they bring Jesse Jackson out. He's literally like a fucking mannequin. He's nonverbal. He don't do shit, but sit there and look pathetic. He's pathetic because he knows what he has done when he was verbal. He knows what he's done when he was able to move and groove. Y'all are pathetic. That pastor out there, he looks stupid as hell. And the fact that you got on a Malcolm X jacket, knowing damn well how Malcolm X felt about liberals, just shows that you just don't respect nothing. Y'all are disgusting, despicable. These are y'all leaders. These are y'all kings. These are the people y'all following to give y'all not only advice when it comes to Christianity, when it comes to connecting with God. This is who y'all following when it comes to telling y'all who to boycott and who not. Y'all, this is what I mean when I say that some of y'all are really under some type of spell. It's got to be like some hypnosis or something. I don't know if it's in the holy water at some of these churches. I don't know if it's in the, I don't know what's going on. I remember that when the Queen of England passed away, they broke a wand over her casket and said that the spell is broken. Maybe some of us was able to catch wind of that, and we are no longer under it. But obviously some of y'all didn't get the memo, because I can't understand for the life of me how y'all could not see that these people do not give a damn about the Black community. Only thing they care about is lining their own pockets and photo ops. On a side note, the Rainbow Coalition is also responsible for the reclassification of Black people in America. So fuck Jesse Jackson. I hope him and Al Sharpton leave this earth screaming. This is what I mean when I...
Right. Excuse me. So back to what she said. First of all, when these are leaders, why are we the only community need a leader? No other community has a so-called leader that they just listen to they every beck and word, no matter who it is. Even if they do got a leader, it ain't 15 of them. Tell them to do 15 different things. People have their own minds. Those same people been doing this for decades, ain't got nowhere. They ain't got nothing but rich for themselves. They ain't did nothing for the Black community. They ain't helped us do nothing. And the only thing, like she said, Jesse Jackson, I can remember what he's doing is make them start calling us African American. Excuse me, when he know darn well that all us not even from Africa. It's just a blanket statement. They always want to blanket everything. And then, like you say, for faith, how can you follow the Democratic Party for anything godly like, wisdom like, faith like, any of that? Like these pastors are going straight to hell. I'm telling you, because they know darn well the stuff that they supporting and the stuff that they push these people in these churches to support, that is wrong. They push the LGBT thing. They supporting the trans thing. They supporting the AB rights. They support all of this stuff that has nothing to do with God and refuse to teach and address the things that's actually happening in our community. Figuring out how we can get these kids, and I'm telling you how we can get the kids to stop unaliving themselves, because we got to start in the house. We have got to get the mindset of these parents, these adults, my generation and previous, that are raising these little boys and girls, because this ain't good. Now you want to talk about Malcolm X, like you said. This fool got a Malcolm X jacket on when he know how Malcolm X felt about the liberals. So remember I said that I was going to go go to another video that I did previously last year a while ago. Well, we finna do that now. So I did a video regarding the liberals and the Republicans. Malcolm X laid it out perfectly. He was there. So if you don't respect Malcolm X, I don't know what to tell you. Y'all already didn't dogged out Dr. Thomas Sowell. So I'm gonna bring this up now. Before I bring this up, because I'm looking at it now, I look cute, but that background is trash. But we're gonna take a listen. Of course, we're not gonna watch this whole video. If you want to see this whole video, go back last year to my older videos and you can see this there and see about how there was no party switch, the Democratic plantation, how evil the liberal is. Like Malcolm X said, the liberal is like a wolf in sheep's clothing. I'd rather know what I'm dealing with head on. So here I go. I just want you to pay attention. We're gonna watch together. Okay? We're gonna watch together and just enjoy this history. That background is straight trash. But I told you we're always growing and we're gonna always evolve and get better. And I'm getting used to talking to you guys, so I'm not taking it down either. There's good information in here. Suck it in. All right. Without further ado, we're gonna get it.
Crooked game of power politics here in America. The Negro, namely the race problem, integration, civil rights issue, are all nothing but tools used by the whites who call themselves liberals against another group of whites who call themselves conservatives, either to get into power or to retain power. Among whites here in America, the political teams are no longer divided into Democrats and Republicans. The whites who are now struggling for control of the American political throne are divided into liberal and conservative camps. The white liberals from both parties cross party lines to work together toward the same goal. And white conservatives from both parties do likewise. The white liberal differs from the white conservative only in one way. The liberal is more deceitful, more hypocritical than the conservative. Both want.
You hear what he said? Now, for those of you who don't know, when they say liberal, they're usually talking about a Democrat. When they say conservative, they're normally talking about a Republican. They both want the same thing, which is power. But the white liberal, deceitful, go ahead, finish.
Power.
Deceitful, conniving, hypocritical, like he said. So, like he said, all these people got issues. Everybody got issues. But when you want to talk about the Democratic Party being a wolf in sheep's clothing, that's where you get the terms like gender affirming care, make it sound all pretty. They changed terminology. Their whole agenda was always to have power. Their whole agenda was always to keep black folk down. Black folks was always conservative. They were Republican. Republicans always said what they wanted. Now the interpretation to in modern days time of what they're saying they want and need is interpreted all wrong because conservatives are not racist. They were never racist. Power, maybe. Yes, they all want power. See what power does. Power corrupts, just like it's corrupting some of your cousin them. Because right now, I don't want to hear nothing about we ain't got power and we don't do this and it's the systems because they all threw and out the system. All these black liberals still screaming oppression. These are the people that the Jesse Jacksons and the Al Sharptons and all them groomed up to be this way. Let's finish listening to Mal.
But the white liberal is the one who has perfected the art of posing as the Negro's friend and benefactor. And by winning the friendship and support of the Negro, the white liberal is able to use the Negro as a pawn or a weapon in this political football game that is constantly raging between the white liberals and the white conservatives. The American Negro is nothing but a political football, and the white liberals control this ball through tricks or tokenism false promises of integration and civil rights. In this game of deceiving and using the American Negro, the white liberals have complete cooperation of the Negro civil rights leaders who sell our people out for a few crumbs of token recognition, token gains, token progress. In the New York Tribune, in an editorial dated February the 5th, 1960, they pointed out that out of 11 million qualified Negro voters, only 2,700,000 actually take time to vote. This means that, roughly speaking, only 3 million out of the 11 million Negroes who are qualified to vote take an active part, and the remaining 8 million remain voluntarily inactive. And yet it is this small minority, the 3 million Negro voters, who help determine who will be the next president. If who will be the next president can be influenced by 3 million Negro voters, it is easy to see why the presidential candidates of both political parties put on such a false show with the Civil Rights Bill and promises of integration. They must impress the 3 million voting Negroes who are the actual integration seekers. And if so much fuss is made over these 3 million integration seekers, what would the presidential candidates have to do to appease the 8 million non-voting Negroes if they ever decided to become politically active? They hold the balance of power. Who are the 8 million non-voting Negroes? What do they want? And why don't they vote? The 3 million Negro voters are the so-called middle-class Negroes, or high-class Negroes, or uppity Negroes, who are referred
The uppity Negroes, the high-class Negroes, the Joy Reid Negroes, the Don Lemon Negroes, the Al Sharpton Negroes, the uh, the elites, the Ketanji Jacksons, the Beyoncés, all these people. That's what he's talking about. The 3 million that y'all letting decide who's so far removed from us, us regular folk. Y'all letting them decide. And I have too for a long time. I did it for many years on who's gonna be the next president, who's gonna be running your town, your cities. This is still going on, man. This is a psyop, like the young lady said in the TikTok. Like this has got to. It is a curse. It ain't got to be. It is a curse. It's a curse. Listen to what Brother Malcolm said. He broke it all down, what the agenda is. But at the end of the day, it all boils down to power. The liberals, the Democrats, been using black folk forever to get their agenda across. They've been using them 3 million to influence the 8. What we need to do as the 8 million is stand up, rise up, and tell them no. What do we really want? What do y'all want? And I don't want to hear no damn reparations. I don't want to hear nothing stupid. I want to hear something tangible that's going to get our families back in the same household. We need to do a course correction. We need to hit reverse. Reverse. Now we in a separation time, so everybody ain't gonna go, and these groups gonna be broke off. Because what's gonna happen is we're gonna do like the other communities do, what they degenerate class. We're not gonna uplift it, not gonna prop it up. We're gonna speak out against it. Hopefully, they fade away into the shadows. So the people that do want better for our families and do want a steady family life, not the baby daddy, baby mama culture, working bag culture, independent woman culture, all this stuff that was influenced, so we can live wholesome. We want our kids to play outside, riding their bikes without worrying about Tawana little son doing something because she in there having an attitude, and then he come out all abused and taking it out on the rest of the community and growing up to be a domestic terrorist. No, no. Mm-mm. So, whew, it's deep right here, man.
To by the late Howard University sociology professor E. Franklin Frazier as the black bourgeoisie, who have been educated to think as patriotic individualists with no racial pride whatsoever, who believe in and look forward to the future integrated, intermarried society that is constantly being promised to them by the Negro politician. And therefore, this integration-minded 3 million minority remain an active part of the white-controlled political parties. But it must never be overlooked that these 3 million Negro integration seekers are only a small minority of the 11 million qualified Negro voters. The 8 million non-voting Negroes are the majority, the downtrodden black masses. They have refused to vote. They've refused to take a part in politics because they reject the Uncle Tom approach of the clergy politician leadership that has been handpicked for the so-called Negroes by the white man himself. This clergy politician leadership does not speak for the Negro majority. They don't speak for the black masses. They speak for the black bourgeoisie, the brainwashed, white-minded, middle-class minority, who, because they are ashamed of their race, because they are ashamed of being black and don't want to be identified with black, they are seeking to lose this black identity by mixing and mingling and intermarrying and integrating with the white society. The race problem cannot be solved by listening to the white-minded, brainwashed minority. The white man must try to learn what the black majority wants. The president would be wise to try and learn what the black masses want. And the only way to find this out is by listening to the man who speaks for the black masses. And I can declare to you tonight and to the entire world that the man here in America who speaks for the majority, the downtrodden, dissatisfied black masses, is this same man who so many thousands of our people are flocking toward to see and hear. This same Mr. Muhammad, who is labeled by you as a black supremacist and as a racist and as an extremist. If the 3 million middle-class Negroes are casting their ballots for integration and intermarriage, what do the non-voting black masses who are in the majority want? Find out what the black masses want, and then perhaps America's grave race problem can be solved.
You know, yeah. So, let's talk about the integrationists. Now, before all of that, right out of slavery, as we was coming up and we were able to get our businesses, we had our own stuff. We weren't really that concerned with integrating. We didn't want to live by our oppressor. The ones that did is because they didn't have a choice, and those were called rednecks, uh, which is an interesting learn about how some of us act when we talk about certain cultures. They'll try to say black culture, but we really actually learned it. But that's another video for another time. If you want to check that out, go check out some. So, God bless you. So then, the integration, was it a good thing or a bad thing to y'all? See, I think I'm glad we are integrated now, but I do not think these things need to be forced. Because when they are forced, then you build resentment. So what should have happened, in my eyes, is everybody, black people doing good, white people doing good, and naturally, over time, those relations would have gotten better. You want to know why? Money, money. They just start cross selling. They would have started. I'm telling you, over time, everything gets better. But I think forcing it the way they did, like you said, the 3 million and the other 8 million didn't have nothing to do or no say so, which was their own fault. But I get it. They didn't want the Uncle Tom approach. You know, kind of like people now. It's like I'm glad we're waking up and realizing that a lot of these people are hand-picked clowns just to keep us in a certain mindset, to keep us going, to be the welfare state. And even Martin Luther King wished that he hadn't said it. He said that he think he led his people into a what he said, burning destruction. I want to put it. Let's see exactly what he said.
Is that many of the people who supported us in Selma, in Birmingham, were really outraged about the extremist behavior toward Negroes. But they were not at that moment, and they are not now, committed to genuine equality for Negroes. It's much easier to integrate a lunch counter than it is to guarantee an annual income, for instance, to get rid of poverty for Negroes and all poor people. It's much easier to integrate a bus than it is to make genuine integration a reality and quality education a reality in our schools. It's much easier to integrate even a public park than it is to get rid of slums. And I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare. Now, I'm not one to lose hope. I keep on hoping. We must see it this time.
So you hear what he said? He said he was afraid. Well, I'm sorry, that his dream has turned into a nightmare. And if they would see, even in his dream, what these people doing now, they like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. If he's saying integrate and little white, like everything was happening the way he wanted it, don't mean it was good. But then let's talk about the integration. Now you got these same people that fought for integration, fought to be with the white man, which ain't nothing wrong with it, but that's what they did. They fought. My point of saying that is it's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs to fast forward. These same people act like they want to be segregated again. They act like they are racist. Like that's just the end of the day. What has developed is a bunch of black racist Marxists, and the white liberal is racist and white guilt, and they got all type of mental health. It's just too much going on. So yeah. That being said, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe button. But we got to do better, y'all. We got to come up off this mental plantation. When we know that we are oppressed and we start fighting against them, first of all, they'll have to do something about it. Second of all, a mindset change. Start listening to other content. Open your minds. Quit thinking every time somebody criticizes you that is racist. White people can criticize you. Other nationalities can criticize you just like y'all criticize people every day, all day. Don't be like that. Because at the end of the day, your kids got to grow up with my kids, and I need your kids to be sound minded. That being said, I'm just another brown girl in America in the search for truth. Don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe button. See you later.